Mayor Donker, in January, you gave a very dynamic State of the City speech to the Chamber's quarterly luncheon. You began that speech talking about 3 statements that had great impact on you over the past year. Tell me a little bit about those statements.
Sure. Well, the first one was actually a billboard I saw, and I was headed towards Bay City, and I looked up and I saw this billboard and it said, Mish again. And then I thought, Michigan? And I thought, that is brilliant, Mish again. And for me, it was really a statement about, our state and what I wanted and what I think most people want is us to be a great state. And Mish again really said it for me. The other statements, one was a quote, and it was in a presentation that Terry Moore did for a workshop sponsored by United Way. And his quote was, "The cavalry ain't coming." And as I thought about that, I went, he's really right. No one is going to come in and save us. It's about us. We need to do it ourselves. And that really worked for me. And I thought, I have to engage and work hard. And then the last one was a theme of a talk that Matt Davis did for Bay City on the Go. And his bottom line, the takeaway message was, now is the time. And so as I thought about those 3 things together, it really kind of flowed for me. If we want a great state and a great city, we're the ones that have to do it ourselves, and we need to do it now.
You're right. And one of the big jobs of City Council is setting that priority and that direction for the city, and more specifically the city manager. At your goal-setting session in January, City Council focused on 3 main goals that it wants to make a priority for this community. What were those goals?
Well, our goals actually this year are the same as they were last year, and that is, quality of life. And we try to have, high quality of life through the amenities and the services that are provided here. And we want to use our resources well, and we also want to provide economic sustainability. So those are the goals that we, try to shape our decision making throughout the year on, and I know that city staff, does the same.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've talked about a lot of the great things that are going on, but like everybody else in the state of Michigan, Midland faces its own challenges. Let's take a look back at the past year. City Council set the city manager out with certain goals for the past budget year, the budget year we're in now. How have those goals been met?
Well, you're right. There is 2 sides to every coin, and we do have economic challenges. And so it was very important for council to understand what citizens wanted when you're facing a $4.7 million budget shortfall. So we held city roundtables. And the citizens told us who attended the roundtables that, they didn't want to cut in service. They really wanted to see us do them differently. And at that time they were saying, we'd like you to manage a small increase in taxes with a change in how you deliver services. So the impact on that was about a $2.2 million, cut. And then increasing the millage by just less than a mill. So that's how we that is how we balance the budget for the year that we're currently in. We know that this coming year we're facing a projected shortfall of about $2.6 million. And as we talked about it at our council planning session, the council's direction to the city manager was this: we really are not interested in seeing another millage increase. And because of that, that means everything has to be on the table. So with that in mind, as the planning goes on, John will go back and work with his staff, and they will, look for everything they possibly can look for, to make that budget balance.
And what do you want to hear from citizens as we go into this upcoming budget planning session?
Well, feedback is incredibly important, or thoughts, or what they really care about. So we would certainly, via email or attending city council sessions or calling the city manager's office to let them know, their thoughts or concerns or what's important to them. That's very good to know as they're preparing the budgets. In April, the budgets will come in front of council, and we go through this whole budget planning session, and we will review what John and staff have come up with as far as trying to meet the goals we set out there for them. So we would invite the community to come and to attend to give input at that time as we go through that.
Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today, and especially your very inspirational speech that you gave as part of your State of the City address. Any closing thoughts for our viewers?
Well, you know, I think good things are happening in Midland. And I think as we look to this year, you know, I invite all of us to think about what each of us can do to continue those good things happening. So thank you for having me here today.
Mayor Donker challenges all Midlanders to identify what each of us can do to keep good things happening in Midland. If you have any thoughts on that, we'd love to hear them. You can drop us a note at cityhall@midland-mi.org.